But here she continues talking about how this offshore manufacturing has wrecked American jobs.
In terms of jobs, this is the biggest and cruelest hoax of all. Not only do we not have market access, not only do they have prohibitive tariffs, not only are our exports not let in very specifically, but China benefits with at least 10 million jobs from U.S.-China trade. The president, in his statement requesting this special waiver, said that China trade supports 170,000 jobs in the United States, 170,000 jobs, whereas our imports from China support 10 million jobs at least. Fact is that U.S.-China trade is a job loser.
And what she said at the end only represents our trade with China. It's been the same exact story with the European Union and with Canada and with Mexico. Whose genius idea was it that instead of assembling cars in America, we were instead going to assemble them across America, Canada, and Mexico for no apparent reason other than to help stimulate the economies of our neighbors? It makes absolutely no sense. Around the time that she's giving this speech is when they're trying to institute NAFTA, which basically sent all of our auto manufacturing to Mexico, because for some reason we didn't think, just like China, who once we let them into the market, they took advantage of cheap slave labor, we didn't think Mexico was going to do the same thing. But they did. Also, Americans could have some cheap year-round avocados. Now, Nancy is not done going in. Again, I don't know if we'll ever see this again in our lives. But here she is talking about how, on top of everything China's doing to screw us, here's where they're really getting us.
Our colleagues on the other side of this issue will say the trade with China, exports to China have increased 3 times in the last 10 years. They have. But they fail to mention that imports from China have increased 11 times, thereby leading to this huge trade deficit. The other issue, in addition, if intellectual property is a $2 billion, $3 billion loss, technology transfer is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. If you want to sell to China, your products into China, the Chinese insist that you open a factory there. They misappropriate your technology, open factories of their own, and then say to you, now we want to see your plan for export. That's as simply as I can say it briefly.
Like, free open trade only works if everyone's going to play by equal and fair rules. Since the beginning, we brought our factories to China and they immediately stole our technology, stole our patents, stole our designs, stole our intellectual property, stole all of our secrets, militarily and corporate. They would invite American business to come there and take advantage of cheap labor. And then once they get your proprietary designs, they immediately just start remanufacturing it at a lower cost basis and selling it back into your market. And again, what's so bumming is at one point, Democrats believed that we needed to do something about this. Just imagine if they weren't so delusional today. I don't know why the Democrats decided to descend into the party that hates America and turn on their countrymen.